This is big for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to be talking about the key takeaways from tonight's loss against the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so the Chicago Bulls lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves 135-119. And even in a loss, there were some good takeaways from tonight's game. And so let's go ahead and start with the individuals that I think really stood out for the Chicago Bulls. And so we start with Vooch. I think that Vooch had a very good game once again. He was pretty efficient for the most part. But I love the fact that he continues to command the attention in the paint, and he continues to be a steady source of offense for this Chicago Bulls team. And that is huge because when the three-point shot is not falling, Vooch has been certainly reliable. And I think that he definitely got it done tonight for his 25 points. He also had 5 rebounds, 2 assists as well, and a block shot. So Vooch continuing to be steady for us. And this is huge because I think many people thought that Vooch was going to come in, perhaps have more of a decline, but he has not had a declining season thus far. He has really gotten off to a huge start, and he's really helped us, and I think he's going to help us some more, especially as we continue to get some of these veteran players back like Zach LaVine and Lonzo Ball. And so huge takeaway for tonight was Vooch. Next up, it is going to be Coby White. I think that Coby White and him coming back, really rebounding from that tough game against the Mavs tonight. He was 4 of 9 as far as shooting the three-point shot. Then he also did go out there and have 8 assists as well. Didn't get any rebounds, but did have 24 points. Coby White and Ayo Dosunmu are 2 players that if they struggle, I do not worry about them because these are players that have shown that if you put them into roles, different roles on this team, they find ways to just figure it out. And I think that that is part of the deal with Coby White. And I think at some point, he is going to become even more steady in his career. I think that, he's going to go through these ups and downs as this team continues to really try to find its way and get its identity and really build this thing out right. So I like the way that Coby White rebounds tonight from a tough loss in Dallas, and then also too just a tough individual performance. So that is what you like to see when it comes down to players that you are looking to really build around, and then also too you're going to need that. That's some of the things that Billy Donovan's talking about with confidence, with Modest BUZELIS and some of these younger players. This is the example right there. You have a tough night, you come back and you get it back the next game. And so next up, just looking at the box scores, some of the key takeaways from this. And I want to start with Patrick Williams. I know Patrick Williams went out there. He scored 12 points, which was a lot better than what he scored against the Mavs last night. But not getting any rebounds. You see the amount of minutes that he had. He had an abundance there. And also 2 more turnovers for Patrick Williams. And so I don't know what it is with Patrick Williams and why every time he puts the basketball really on the floor and dribbles it, he is dribbling into turnovers. And I just think that at this point, Patrick Williams has got to get locked into just being just more of a 3-and-D type of player, just being shot ready, because Giddey and these other players are going to create the necessary space. He's just got to be in the right pockets to just knock down shots. But I did like the fact that he was a little bit more aggressive when he did get the catch as far as looking at the basket. And that's one of the things that was talked about on the broadcast of the game. Stacey King talked about they're not going to run plays for Patrick Williams. And, he was shot ready. He did knock down some shots and things like that. You want that to continue and be consistent. But at some point, Patrick Williams has got to put it all together, and just not getting any rebounds and then continuing with the turnovers, that has got to change, especially with these younger players that I think are just getting better each game. Then next up, another key takeaway from this is that Ayo, he did did struggle once more from downtown. He was 1 of 3. I believe he's shooting, or going into this game, he was shooting 17.5%. At one point, I think he was 7 of 40 through 8 games. So I think that that's something that he's going to figure out. He still finds a way to get double figures. Did have 2 assists and 3 rebounds, but he did also play some terrific defense as well out there on Anthony Edwards before he really got going. But, you know, everybody's playing some pretty good defense, and Anthony Edwards just takes it to another level. So I will give Ayo a lot of credit with just the defensive effort that he's shown, I think, throughout these first couple games in the season. And even in a tough matchup today, he still tries to find ways to help the team out. Next up, Josh Giddey. He struggled tonight. 9 points, 13 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from downtown. I think that the Timberwolves did a terrific job just defensively at one point, where they put on that full court press. Then also, too, they started to pressure our guards and kind of push them out a little bit more. Made it very uncomfortable. It was tough for Josh Giddey to get downhill. Then also, too, they took away a lot of our dribble handoff actions. That led to some steals, too, late in the second quarter going into halftime. And so, you know, the Timberwolves really turned it up defensively there. And so I think that they made it tough on our guards and things like that as we tried to penetrate. So that is another thing that kind of stuck out here on the box score. And then lastly, when we look at the younger players, that is a positive spot in this game, because you see that Manas Buzelis had 17 minutes today. You see that Dalen Terry got an extended run. He had 6 points. He had 4 rebounds, 1 block. And I love the fact that he is actually just carving out a role, just being that chippy player, mixing it up out there. And I absolutely think that he is going to see some more minutes. I love the fact that Julian Phillips was very aggressive, I think, on the offensive end, still playing some good defense. I love the fact that he's getting some minutes. I want to see him get some more. I like THT. I like the fact that when you give THT minutes, he's trying to maximize those. So THT, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists tonight. So definitely like that. And so I'm loving the fact that we are seeing the younger players play. And I think that if Billy Donovan is serious about really having players earn minutes, you know, I think that, you know, these players are really showing that they've taken it serious, especially Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry, and they're showing that they're getting better as you're giving them more minutes. And I would have to think that at some point, Billy Donovan might have to look to shake up the lineup a little bit. And that means that Patrick Williams, maybe he does come off the bench. And so we know Zach LaVine and Lonzo are going to come back. But I think that you have to try to get these younger players out there as much as possible. And so as we move forward and we look at the team box score and look at the key takeaways from that, we lost the paint battle yet again. They beat us 64-58 there. I mean, pretty much the Timberwolves, just like the Mavs, were able to get to the paint and just get some easy baskets at will. And then on top of that, we lost the rebound battle, 40-33 there. They shot 54.3%, 42.1 from downtown. So pretty good percentages there. I think that they turned it up a lot more in the fourth quarter. On the flip side of that, we weren't too bad as far as field goal percentage, 53% for ourselves, and then 41.7 from 3, which is an improvement from last game. So that's huge. I think we shot 28% against the Mavs. So that is going to be very good. You know, hopefully we can stay and continue to improve and just be more consistent with that. But some other key takeaways here in this loss is that at one point in the first half, we had 11 assists to 0 turnovers, something that the Chicago Bulls can absolutely control every game. That is focus, that is effort. And so that was outstanding to start the game off that way. And also, too, we won our first quarter of the season. Like, this is the first time we had actually won the first quarter. Well, like, for the most part, we have been down in every game. So that is a positive sign. And that is something that this team is going going to have to develop. They're going to have to continue to get off to better starts, and that's going to happen as this team gets better, as they continue to improve as players, as they continue to improve this roster and get that winning identity. You're going to see things like that start to change and be in the Bulls' favor. Next up, 18-5 on the bench. So at one point, we were leading bench scoring 18-5. We were plus 13 also. And then in the first half, we have a season high of 20 assists. And so that is outstanding if we can continue that. Remember, this offense is geared towards ball and player movement. And so obviously if we're getting some good assists and then also too converting like we're doing here on the field goal percentage, then I think that that is going to lead to some wins. And lastly, with these assists, at one point we had 10 assists to 10 made three-point shots, which was an indication that as we were moving the ball, we were also putting ourselves in good positions to get some great shots as well. And so these are things that the Chicago Bulls are going to have to improve on, and then also to continuing to really prioritize the youth movement. So anyway, in the comments, let me know what you are thinking about this recent loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Were there any key takeaways for you? I'd love to see what your thoughts are in the comments. Want to thank everybody out there for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the videos here at Bulls Digest. It means a lot as we try to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers before the season ends. Just want to tell you guys to keep mashing on that subscribe button. There's about 64.2% of you that watch are not subscribed. And look, even though we are looking for the positives out of just straight up losses, at some point, we're going to be all right. And we're going to be talking about how this team has gotten a lot better. And so I'm still saying go Bulls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.